There's one important strength people acquire when they develop good character. They are more able to respect others, listen to them, and understand their perspective. Why? Because people of good character have no reason to feel threatened by views different from their own.
Welcome to Philosopher Insights, the podcast that delivers wisdom in minutes a day that you can put into practice daily and strive to master over a lifetime.
The podcast committed to sharing ideas that encourage you to bridge the gap between who you are today and the person you aspire to be in the future.
Hi, my name is Herb Lamba, and welcome to my podcast, where I will share practical insights from the world's best authors.
Knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is. The quest to become the best version of you starts right now.
Hi, and welcome to Philosopher Insights. My name is Herb Lamba. Today, we're taking a look at high road leadership, bringing people together in a world that divides. The author of this book is John Maxwell. The book is published in 2024. I want to share a number of my favorite insights, starting with 3 roads of leadership, value people, ego versus hippo, serve your people, character over reputation, accountability increases self-respect, better perspective, and then finish it off with a closing thought. So let's begin with the introduction. Quote, "If you're a leader and allow yourself to get drawn into taking sides and working against other groups of people, you're limiting your leadership. As leaders, we all need the people on the other side. Our side doesn't have all the answers. Believing we do is arrogant. I'm not always right, and neither are you. And those on the other side are not always wrong. If you don't listen to them, you're shrinking your influence and limiting your impact. If you can't work with people who disagree with you, you will never become the leader you could be. No one will ever convince me that you can choose only half of the people and get as much done as if you work to lead all the people. You lose the best way when you must always have your own way. We can't divide people and expect to accomplish positive results. As we look at the current state of leadership, if we think all these problems have been created by the other side, we're missing the point. If we want a better culture, a better country, and a better world, we need to look in the mirror and recognize our own contributions to the division we are experiencing. We need to have a change of heart and mind in how we treat people. Instead of widening the chasm between us, we need to build bridges and move towards others while looking for common ground. The way we do that is to become a leader who takes the high road. That is what this book is all about." End quote. We live in a world that seems more divided than ever before. Conflicts, frustrations, and anger seem to be the norm rather than the exception. But renowned leadership expert John C. Maxwell believes he has the solution in his latest book, High Road Leadership. According to Maxwell, leadership plays a pivotal role in shaping our world. He says, everything rises and falls on leadership. Unfortunately, many leaders today are taking the low or middle road, fueling disputes and despair instead of bringing people together. While the challenges we face as a society are daunting, Maxwell's message offers a glimmer of hope. By embracing high road leadership, we can begin to bridge the divides that separate us and work towards a more unified, harmonious world. As I do every week, I gathered some of my favorite insights, and I am looking forward to unpacking them with you. So let's begin. Insight number 1, 3 roads of leadership. Quote, "I believe people choose one of the 3 paths when they interact with others, the low road, the middle road, or the high road. Let's start with the middle road because that's where most people tend to travel. When we travel the middle road, we value fairness. We are open to give and take to keep things even. We think, I've received this much, so I should give that much. Where people on the middle road strive for fairness, people on the low road think only of themselves. On the low road, they look out for number 1. As the old saying goes, low road people can suck the life out of others because they think only of themselves and getting what they want. Where the middle and low roads are me first, the high road is others first. High road people intentionally give first without worrying about receiving anything back. Being a high road leader doesn't make you better than others." End quote. You know, we all have the potential to be leaders in our own way, whether it's at work, in our communities, or even as parents. But have you ever stopped to think about the path you're taking as a leader? A high road leader generally wants you to succeed. They're not just in it for themselves. They want to uplift and empower those around them. On the other hand, a middle road leader is more focused on their own group success, even if it comes at the expense of other people. And then there are the low road leaders. Those are the ones who make it all about them winning, no matter who they have to step on or what bridges they have to burn along the way. This book is like a roadmap for navigating the high road of life and leadership. With each chapter, Maxwell unveils another powerful practice that can help us stay on that uplifting path. Insight number 2, value people. Quote, "Valuing people is not about giving them compliments or making them feel important, nor is it about getting them to like you. My problem early in my career. No, it's seeing all people's worth as human beings. Letting them know you see that worth, and help them feel their words and believe in themselves. If we are to take the high road, we can't pick and choose who we value." End quote. Maxwell isn't pulling any punches when it comes to the reality of true leadership. He's serving up some hard truths that we all need to hear. Remember, people have a sixth sense for knowing when they're truly valued or when someone is just putting on an act. You can't fake sincerity. It either comes from the heart or it doesn't. And as leaders, if we want to walk the high road, we have to be genuine in how we treat and value others. Insight number 3, eagle versus hippo. Quote, "There is a quote often attributed to Carl Sandburg that is an insightful description of our condition as human beings. It says, quote, 'There is an eagle in me that wants to soar, and there is a hippopotamus in me that wants to wallow in the mud.'" End quote. Now I find this to be true. The eagle in me makes me want to rise up and do great things. Unfortunately, it also makes me want to look down at others. I want to judge them by their actions and results, while I want to give myself the benefit of the doubt based on my intentions and feelings. End quote. Now that is so good. On one hand, we have the eagle, a symbol of soaring ambition, lofty ideals, and the yearning to reach great heights. This part of us craves achievement, growth, and the opportunity to make a lasting impact on the world around us. It's the voice that pushes us to dream big and strive for excellence. But then there's the hippopotamus, a creature content to wallow in the mud, representing our more base instincts and desires for comfort, indulgence, and the path of least resistance. This side of us seeks pleasure, avoidance, and discomfort, and the easy way out, even if it means sacrificing our potential for growth. We can't afford to ignore or forget about the hippopotamus within us, that part that tempts us to wallow, make poor choices, and veer off course from our dreams and aspirations. It's so easy to get caught up in the soaring ambitions of the eagle, dreaming big and setting lofty goals. But if we're not careful, that hippopotamus can come crashing in, dragging us down into the mud of complacency, laziness, and self-sabotage. Insight number 4, serve your people. Quote, "One of the best things you can do for people you lead is to serve them. Obviously, this helps them, but it also does something more. Most people find it endearing when their leader contradicts the traditional image of leadership where the leader is over the people. It communicates to them their importance to you. What are some of the ways that a leader serves people? By removing obstacles no one else can, by providing resources they need, by lifting burdens off them that prevent them from being and doing their best. You can serve your people and still be their leader. You don't lose your position when you change your posture. Besides, real leadership isn't position anyway, it's influence." End quote. Maxwell's insight on the leadership dance is brilliant. True leadership isn't just about being out front and calling the shots. It's about reading the situation and adapting your approach. Sometimes taking the lead, other times stepping back to listen and collaborate. But most powerfully, it's about being willing to get below your people and serve their needs. That kind of servant leadership, where you roll up your sleeves to support your team's success, is game-changing and inspires deep commitment. Mastering that fluid dance between leading, partnering, and serving is what separates great leaders. It's like Maxwell is saying, hey, leadership isn't about ego or power trips. It's about putting your people first and doing whatever it takes to help them shine. And when you approach it from that mindset, when you're willing to lead from the front, the side, or even from below, that's when you really start to unlock the full potential of your team. Quote, "To become a high-road leader who places people above your own agenda, you need to be willing to serve people. Too many leaders want to be the heroes in every interaction. They want to swoop in and save the day. They want to provide the solutions. They want to be the one to drop wisdom on everyone. High-road leaders make the people the heroes because it lifts them up. They're not only willing to serve their people, they desire to serve and support their people because they find enjoyment in seeing them succeed." End quote. Amen to that. Too many leaders get caught up in their own agendas, their own goals, and forget that true success comes from empowering their people to shine. It's like they're so focused on their own race that they forget they're supposed to be the coach, helping their team across the finish line. Insight number 5, character over reputation. Quote, "We live in a world where people focus too much on image and reputation. Individuals and organizations work hard to build brands, but reputation has no substance, and images are often inauthentic. What really matters is character because that determines who you are, how you interact with people, and what you are capable of accomplishing. When your character exceeds your reputation, you can travel the high road even when it's difficult because your values and internal fortitude support you. There's one important strength people acquire when they develop good character. They are more able to respect others, listen to them, and understand their perspective. Why? Because people of good character have no reason to feel threatened by views different from their own." End quote. Here, Maxwell emphasizes that having strong character is crucial to staying on the high road of leadership. It is the foundation that prevents us from veering off course, especially when faced with opposing views. It's tempting to get defensive and shut others down, but the moment we stop listening and start attacking, we've left the high road behind. We trade respect and open-mindedness for ego and closed-mindedness, heading down a slippery slope of division, conflict, and toxic leadership. Character keeps us grounded, open to different perspectives while disagreeing respectfully. So let's take Maxwell's words to heart. Let's commit to being leaders of character, leaders who prioritize respect, empathy, and open-mindedness above everything else, because that's the only way we can truly stay on the high road and create a more positive, united, and impactful brand of leadership. Insight number 6. Accountability increases self-respect. Quote, my friend Chris Hodges, the founder of Church of the Highlands, likes to say, choices lead, feelings follow. When you make good choices and follow through on your commitments because you hold yourself accountable, the feeling that follows is self-respect. Your sense of self-respect will make you more confident. That in turn helps you make better choices uninhibited by guilt or doubt. One of John Wooden's favorite sayings was, quote, there is a choice you have to make in everything you do. So keep in mind that in the end, the choice you make makes you, end quote. Now, it's no shocker that the decisions we make day to day have a major impact on our lives. In this case, John's talking about how those choices affect your leadership game. Just think about it for a second. If you could get yourself to consistently make the right calls and really hold yourself accountable, imagine how you would level up your ability to lead other people. You'd be setting the example, pushing your team to follow suit. Now, not to beat a dead horse here, but I've said it on this podcast before, and I'll say it again. If you give yourself instructions and then don't follow through, you're chipping away at your own integrity and self-trust. And let me tell you, that's not a good look for a leader. Your credibility and trustworthiness take a major hit when you can't keep it real with yourself. So do yourself a favor and walk the walk as often as possible. Insight number 7, better perspective. Quote, the ability to see from a broader perspective and understand situations within a larger context often has a profound impact on a person. Astronauts who have seen the Earth from space have had their entire perspective on life changed. I call this ability in leaders to see more and before the leadership advantage. They have a perspective others don't have. People with high natural leadership gifting are born with this ability. However, even leaders who are not naturally gifted can acquire the ability to perceive the bigger picture so that they can also recognize and process situations more quickly than others around them. And this gives them a great advantage. The ability to see the bigger picture is like getting a 30-yard head start in the 100-yard dash. Why is the big picture important for high road leadership? Because it's like a superpower. And like any superpower, it can be used for good or ill. From your vantage point on the high road, you can see ahead and help people navigate the rough waters of life. You can lift them up when they're down. When you live by the bigger picture, you increase your ability to make a difference in the lives of others. End quote. Here, Maxwell is laying out the reasons why leaders who take the high road need to have that extra vision and foresight compared to their team. One of the big ones? It helps build better resilience within the team when tough times hit. Having that wider perspective allows you to keep your company or department agile and adaptable during rocky periods. Now think about this. Why do little kids always want their parents to pick them up? It's because it literally changes their view of the world, right? They get a fresh perspective from up higher. The same idea applies to leadership. When you elevate yourself and see things from that higher vantage point, it gives you insights that others might miss from down below. You can spot potential roadblocks or opportunities that your team can't see from their level. That next level vision is key for steering the ship through any storm. So don't just trudge along at ground level. Take the high road, gain that wider outlook, and use it to guide your people through adversity. Stay agile, resilient, and steps ahead. That's what separates the great leaders from the rest of the pack. Insight number 8, closing thought. Quote, several years ago, I read the words of the late U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. Her message, which was delivered to graduates at Stanford University in 2004, inspired me to write this book. Quote, if we focus our energies on sharing ideas, finding solutions, and using what is right with America to remedy what is wrong with it, we can make a difference. Our nation needs bridges, and bridges are built by those who look to the future and dedicate themselves to helping others. I don't know what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. It is you. End quote. Her words are as relevant today as they were 2 decades ago. The future belongs to you. I hope and pray you will take the high road and use your leadership to make your family, organization, community, and nation better. It is the only way we will be able to bring people together in a world that divides." End quote. Well, those final words in the book really pack a punch, don't they? John's absolutely right. This message couldn't have come at a better time. Just look around. The level of division and conflict across the globe has gone off the rails lately. We're more polarized than ever before. What the world desperately needs right now are more people willing to be the bigger person. Instead of stooping to pettiness or lashing out, we need leaders and role models who can rise above the fray with dignity and grace. If more of us could just take a step back, keep our cool, and respond with empathy and understanding, imagine how much better off we'd be. I hope these insights from the book hit you just as hard as they hit me. Of course, I could only skim the surface here. There's no way I could fully do this book justice in just one sitting. John Maxwell packed so much wisdom and perspective into these pages. If any of the points I brought up today resonated with you or got those gears turning, then you gotta read the full thing for yourself. I'm being honest when I say it's absolutely wonderful from cover to cover. Until next time, stay curious and keep embracing the wonders of knowledge. Talk to you soon. You've been listening to Philosopher Insights with your host, Herb Lambert. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.